So here I'll just give my path. Okay, let us execute once and see the result. Java application. Yeah, perfect. So it's working. So first clicked on start reading and next clicked on sign up with email, then sign up, then you given these values. Okay, same thing I have written in another way. So what I have done, so same thing, I've used the data provided, and see here I've used explicit, synchronization, and a couple of situations where I have taken explicit and a few of the locations I have not taken it. Okay, so the reason in my mission I said, right, it is not responding properly. So that is the reason I was using explicit conditions, otherwise would not used it. And one more thing, so you may observe, see here we have used the relative path. Sorry guys. So here we have used the relative path, but here we have used the absolute, sorry, this is absolute path and this is relative path. Okay, so any guess, Trilok, why did you use this one? So in your code also you have used the same thing.
Yeah.
So any reason? So why you have used the
Just
absolute path?
it's not working the link text, so I tried like.
Yeah, so when the data means when your tags are available in the field set, it is not possible.
What's
So
this?
what? So see, the location is available in the field set. So
Okay.
to identify the elements when it is available in the field set, it is not taking properly. So that's the reason. So you are going with the absolute path.
What is field set, Suresh?
I do not know exactly. Okay, so I've tried so many ways, and finally, because when I checked in, people said it is difficult to identify the elements when it is available in the field set.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that's the reason we are going with the absolute path. And there are so many varieties. Just Google once and you can find a lot of notes on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I have done. Okay. Now we need to write now we need to write the code in a even better way. So that is what we are going to discuss in our class now. And yesterday Trilok asked some question. So here I said this is number of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number of times the test case should execute. And this I said the number of arguments you are passing, right?
Yeah.
So now I'll increase it to 2. So copy the same thing. So now instead of 0 I should mention as 1, right?
Right, right.
Okay, so just type something and here type something and here I'll give Firefox. What it means? The first one, when it calls
Executing
this
in Chrome.
method, when it calls this method, first time you should execute in the Chrome.
Okay.
And next time when it calls with the new set of data, you should call which one? Firefox.
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 So let us see whether it is executing or not. So Chrome is fine, it's working.
Mm-hmm.
So is it working?
Okay.
So with the same script, we are trying with 2 browsers.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. And for the same browser also we can give different data and check, right?
Yeah, yes, yes, you can do that. Okay. So, so clear now, Trilok? Others?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, then, so what I do is I'll close my this thing. So now we are going to discuss page object model. So generally we have two concepts. So guys, we are not going to discuss DB and Excel because I need to do some small setup and it is failing in my machine. So maybe I'll show you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to discuss about page object model for today. And tomorrow we discuss page factory model. So what are these two? So these two are will be given these advantages like easy to maintain, easy readability of scripts, and what is easy to maintain? Easy readability. So this is also readable, right? So whatever we have written, this is also readable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see here, so every time we need to mention this one and every time we need to mention by name and all those things. But if someone sees, assume that if your end user like your client, he wants to see your script. Okay, for us maybe it is in a readable format, but for him he says why so many like this. So I do not want to all these things in my script. Okay, so what we can do if we ask these kind of questions. So always the client what he says, in general? What he says, guys? So whatever you do, or even sometimes assume that a script is given to you and he says whatever framework you use it, but it should work in my machine,
Mm-hmm.
but it should be more readable format. Okay, so something not like this, or so these kind of things you keep in another package. So you no need to keep in the same package actually. So keep somewhere. Why? Because this may be used for some other person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? So keep these kind of things in one location, and from there you call them. So that's what we have like in whoops concepts. Wherever we have, we can call them, isn't it? So what exactly whoops happen means? What is the definition of whoops? So we split the program into pieces, into objects, and whenever needed and wherever is needed, we just call them.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the overview of any whoops language. So now what we are going to do is we are going to split all these things into different locations and try to sorry guys, my baby is sleeping and she is one second.
Oh.
Okay, we'll finish this topic and we'll go with, so now I am not going to use any of our what is that scripts. So we go with the Rediff. Okay, because we are working only on Gmail, Facebook, all these things. So now we'll go with the okay. Uh, so what I do is, so already we have test-ng, right? So what
Mm-hmm.
I'll do is I'll create another package, test-ng. So in this one I'll create one class. So that we say login application. Okay, so we'll see what is that exactly login application. So I'm not creating public static void main. So I hope you know guys why I'm not going to create. So now
Mm-hmm.
public void, then I'll say login. So if I write something like this, what we need to is we have to use the test ng,
Test.
ng annotation. Okay, now I'll copy a few of the things which are needed for us. Control C, Control V, and this is our web driver. So just import from the test ng, and this one also import. So as of now what we did, driver dot get. So you have to provide your link. So this is the login link. So save this one. Okay, now whatever the other things like finding the elements to log into this website, we'll write into different package and different class. Okay, so what we do, we use test-ng. In this test-ng, what we do, we say class as Rediff login. Rediff login. So here also we no need to provide anything. This one.
So these are into different folders.
Now
The
these are into
information.
different folders. Yes, exactly. See here, this is testng2 and here I have login appl and I have in testng as a Rediff login.
Okay.
Okay, now by username, so you can see here why I say username, password and go. So we write the three words here, by password, by go. So how to identify the elements? So let us go and check this one, how to identify this one. So this is the XPath. Okay, and so take this XPath. So type by dot XPath and for password, so I'll use ID. Okay, by ID. What is that ID? Password. And here by dot for go, so what we do is we use the XPath. So better use the XPath.
We can use link
Name,
extension.
we can use name, right? By name also we can use it, right? So if you want, check by name. Yes. So what is the name? Proceed. So we have used different file element locators. Now we need to call them into our where we need to call them now? To the login
To first
application.
package.
Yeah, to the login. So if you want to do that, so go to here and you have to do something like what is the name here we have given? Rediff. Just follow whatever I am typing here, guys. Then maybe we can discuss. RDL new. So what it says, it gives some error. So what it says, import. So go and import it. Okay, so we have imported it, right? So it is in the test ng, right? See, from the test ng we have imported test login. Okay,
It will
now,
identify by itself, right?
yes, exactly. So now you have to pass your driver, right? So because if you want to access all the things, definitely we should have a driver. Otherwise, we cannot access anything. Even though we write something like this, how do your driver will identify all these things? So you have to pass your driver.
But the driver is already mentioned above, right?
Which one?
The Chrome driver
No, we
in
have
the
to pass
Chrome.
it to Rediff login.
Oh, okay, okay,
So
okay.
just check here. So even though we have given driver, see everywhere we first given driver, then only find element. Okay, same way
Okay.
here. Since we have written these things in a different locations, but still we need to pass the driver. So I have passed the driver. See, when I pass the drivers, it is asking something. Create constructor. Okay, so just click on create constructor. So where it has created constructor? See here. See, when I write here, the construction created in this location. So why? Because we need to access it. So that is the reason we create a constructor. Okay, so whatever it passes the driver, since we need to access it, so we should create a constructor. Since I have not created, it is suggesting me to create it.
Basically, it's linking this code with that other code.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, now, so we are getting the driver from here to here. But here I should use something else, right? So the driver, we should capture it. So, but if I capture it, I should have some name for it. So web driver. So I use driver. Now you may get confused. So what all these things? What is
Suresh,
this
we don't
driver
need to
and what
call
is?
constructor, right?
Come again?
We don't need to call constructor. It automatically will execute whenever we create object, right?
No, I did not get. Can you repeat once?
Generally, constructor means when we create an object, the constructor method automatically calls, right?
Yeah, that will be with no arguments. The constructor with no
That
args
is
will be called.
Okay.
Yeah, default constructor will be without arguments.
without arguments. Yes,
Okay. Okay. So with arguments, we need to call. Okay.
exactly. So since we need to access this driver over here, see if I assume that if I remove here, if I'm not going to pass anything, see it's throwing an error.
Yeah.
So either add the argument. So what is the argument? Driver.
Yep.
Or create constructor without anything.
Okay.
Or it is asking change the constructor, remove parameter WebDriver. So it is giving the three suggestions.
Yeah.
Clear now?
Yeah. It's clear.
So we have done another part. So clear guys, what we have done so far? If you want to access your driver into Rediff login, which is available in the test ng, you should have a constructor. Okay, even you pass the argument that should be captured by your Rediff login. So that is the reason it is asking me to create a constructor. Now, since we are passing driver from this login page, and I am going to create another driver. This driver is local. So that is the reason we are using this what we call it is a keyword or something. Suresh or
Yeah,
Srila?
yeah. It's, this construct is a keyword only. This is
Yeah,
belongs to this class. I mean,
this class. Okay, so
yeah.
in this class, okay, so this driver, so this driver is local to your driver. So we are getting from the another one. So we are assigning driver, that driver to your local driver. So that is what it means.
Mhm.
Clear? Any doubts?
So
Whatever
we
we
can
are,
give any name, right?
yeah, you can give
So we
any
can,
name. So
yeah.
it's up to
So
you.
if we are giving just dr,
Okay, you want me to
then
give
it should be local to this particular class.
so done?
Yeah. But this when we are calling it from the other package,
Mm-hmm.
we are calling with the driver which is global to the other class, right?
No, as of now, we cannot say it is a global, right? So we are just
Yeah. So
accessing
DI
the,
is local.
yeah,
Okay.
DI is local. Yes. Now
Yeah.
onwards,
Right.
we should use only DI.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. So you can use anything. So generally people will follow, means like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Try with on your own. Okay. So you
Okay.
give different names. Okay. Now we should send couple of things. What are those things? Username, password, ID. Okay. So public void. So what is that? Username, driver dot find element. What is the element? Username, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whether this is, what is the return type for this one?
Void is
But this is a web element, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see
yes.
here, we should return this one, but it is throwing an error. Why? Because your
We should
return
change the
method,
return type.
yeah,
Yeah.
so this one is a web element, but I have given as void. Okay, so it is suggesting me now. So you change the meta to web element. See, it is changing automatically. So save this one. So now you need to access this one into your login. So now what you do? RDL dot. See now it is somewhere you can find username. Is it available?
Mm-hmm.
Then dot. So we need to send something. So send keys. Then say some value. It's clear. So what is happening? See what we did initially, we have taken only the web driver related in one package in one class. Okay, and the web locators, everything we have written in a different class under different package. So now from our test-ng to class, I am sending the driver. So it is capturing my driver, but we should have a constructor. So now it has taken a constructor. Okay, now for each element, for each web element, we should write a method. So for the password, so better we'll use something guys, email ID, and here we use pwd, and here what is the element we should use?
Password.
Password. And for another one, for the submit, so we should use go. So go here. See here, the moment we change over there to email ID, it's throwing an error. So now check your this thing, email ID. Now RDL dot. So what is the next one?
Yes,
Password.
PWD.
Then dot send keys. So now give some value. Okay, then RDL dot, see what is the next one? Submit, right? Submit. Okay, so better will give Subyum. So let's see whether it is there or not. See, Subyum is there. Then now here we need to click it, right? Okay, click it. So clear so far?
So it's giving some error.
It's a public only, right?
It's also suggesting one more option like casting. Maybe can the login program.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
option is
Let me
like
check. So is it gone now?
Mhm.
So there was no space. So gone now. So now which one to execute, guys? Now tell me which one to execute. So we have to execute only this one,
with the
login
main.
application. Yeah. So try to execute this one, test ng. See, it's clicked.
Mhm.
Now tell me which is good.
Here actually, since we are calling it, we can just change in one location the information.
Correct. Okay, if see next time, assume that if they change the
Yeah,
location like this, maybe they're given a different name. You no need to go into particular script and change, because you may be having this username password for different scripts, right, or different test cases. So now we are in single location, so just change in one place
Mhm.
and everyone can access it, right? With the same information they can copy, means they can call and access it. No, they no need to type in their own script. Like see, here I
So
am
basically,
writing.
it is making it reusable.
Yeah, so that is what we have discussed. See, reusability of your code and
Mhm.
easy to maintain. So everyone can read it simply. See now the client so sees this one. Okay, now he says yes, it is very simple, not complicated one. And he knows that okay, for this we have somewhere the methods or the class. So generally he doesn't want all these things, right? How you are identifying your web elements, he will not check all these things. He needs only whether this is in a readable format or not. Now for the send keys, I should send through data provider. Can we do it? Can we do? So I do not want to give directly send keys here. I need to say some with some name. Is it possible now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because we have already worked on it.
Mhm.
Okay, so now my suggestion is for this NS360, can you, any of you guys, can you work on something like this? Is it possible using page object model?
Okay, I'll try.
So it means if I see, I have given an assignment to you saying that, okay, can you do sign up for the NS360? These are the steps. And when you send to the client, I cannot send only this one, right?
Mhm.
So we have to send this one, also this one, and we should inform to him, and this one you place in one package and this one you place in another package.
Okay.
Am I right?
Right, right.
And one more thing is the suggestion we have to mention very clearly, you should have a test ng in your machine.
Mhm.
Otherwise the script will not work.
Suresh, we
Yes,
give out the client code, the dot.
come again.
Generally, how to execute dot class files when we give to, we don't give source code, right? We give dot class file to the clients, right?
Jar file, we say jar file.
Okay. How to execute jar files? I mean,
Mm,
they can't able to see the code, right? They only can execute and see the result, right?
the client you mean to say, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely a client will not go to your Eclipse and do whatever we are doing currently. No, no, he will not do it.
Hmm. You only see the result, what the output is coming, right? So how
Exactly.
to execute and see the output
We
whenever we give
so
the,
that's what I said, that we have couple of frameworks yet to be discussed. So your
so he
client
need to
only,
use
yeah,
this.
your client only execute your scripts through Jenkins.
Okay, okay.
So client always execute the scripts using Jenkins.
So he takes our jar files and he executes jar files in Jenkins.
Yeah, so we place everything like see,
Okay,
we are in system testing.
okay,
From the system testing environment, we have to deploy the changes into acceptance environment. So
okay,
anyhow, that will be taken care by deployment team. So everything is done now, but he will not open Eclipse or he will not
yeah,
go and execute the scripts using the test-ng XML. No.
okay,
Okay, he executes only through Jenkins or any other CI tool. So we say continuous integration.
okay. He can only see the result. That's it, right?
Yeah, he will see only the result.
Okay,
If so, during that time, if it is fail, then we have to see where and whether it is environment problem or something else.
yeah,
So
And
mostly,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So mostly it is during the setup of the UAT environment. So that is the reason at least execute 2-3 basic scripts through Jenkins in acceptance environment so that everyone aware that yes, the whatever deployment and the setup is done is working and acceptance can be done what is that as per plan. But one more thing guys, so nowadays in the acceptance environment they are using either Cucumber or they are using robot framework. See, so many frameworks we are learning, right? So either of this one. So we'll see either of one.
Suresh, can you tell once what is the difference between Jenkins and Cucumber?
See, Jenkins is a CI, continuous
Continuous
integration.
integration.
Continuous
Okay.
integration, it is for the scheduling of your batches, right?
Okay.
Or your programs. Like your, so if you remember in ETL testing, so we know how to execute the workflows,
Mhm.
okay? And we know how to execute them using PMCMD. So we know how it will be scheduled in live environment. So same thing will be taken care by your Jenkins. Okay,
So
Cucumber,
which test case should be executed after which test case? So
exactly,
the sequence you can
yes,
provide.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
the entire batch flow, we say it is a batch flow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, will be taken care by your Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
So Cucumber, we say driven, business data driven or keyword driven framework, we call it as. So people will say BDD or keyword driven. Okay, so that is more advanced. Means nowadays, you see, you guys are at the client location, definitely you should aware either one of them.
So Cucumber is a business driven this thing.
Yes, exactly. It is a business driven.
I also had tested driven. What is that? Suresh? Tested driven.
TTDD, right?
Yeah.
So test data driven, right? That is,
Yeah. Tested data.
or data driven testing.
Oh yes. What is that, Suresh?
So that we are going to discuss with these two.
Okay. Okay.
So yesterday we discussed related how we read the data from the flat file, that is also data driven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and another one
Okay.
is means other two are DB and Excel. So
Okay.
we work in real time with three. So we cannot say I'll work only with the flat file or I'll work only with the database or Excel. No, not. So we work with three. So whenever required, so you have to see if you want to add some environment variables, you define them in the global properties, right? As a flat file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whenever sometimes when you automate your website, obviously the data will be available in the database.
Details.
So you have to verify the data. So that is one thing. Then Excel. So Excel, how we can say, they say I have expected values in the Excel sheet and the actual values in the database. So you have to compare them. Or I'll give my login credentials with means the customer ID and password and the browsers in a Excel sheet. So it has to execute for the 10 users at one time. So I'll keep all those information in a Excel sheet rather going to what is that? This one.
That's right.
Where is it? Did I close it? Yes, I have closed it.
The NG3, right?
NG1, right? So
Okay.
this is not looking
Okay.
nice, right?
Mm.
So I cannot say 10 persons, I cannot say 10 times. So 10 into 4. So my lines of code is getting increased.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone says, people say, boss, can you do in a better way? Possible, right? They may ask us. So already whatever code we have written, we are making in a more readable format. So where this is sufficient for the end user to understand what exactly is happening. So he says, yeah, so our URL is this one. and the login details are somewhere location, and we are sending this information to the email ID where we need to mention the email ID, and this information we are sending to the password, and finally they are clicking on submit button or go button. So easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he no need to check, go and see whether how he has checked the web locators. Okay, so to avoid these kind of things specially, so whatever we are trying with the data provider, so we overcome using Excel sheet. Fine, Suresh? Got it? Did I answer your question, Suresh? Okay,
And yesterday you told us about that test link, right? Jira and test link.
exactly. Yes.
So that is in Jira testing. We just do we execute there, or we just write the basically the expected result and the actual results and all those details.
Mm, I'll tell you guys, give me some time. So maybe in another 5 to 6 classes we complete, right? So we'll go one by one.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, we'll go one by one because now, so going forward, I'll take, see, page factory, I'll take complete one day.
Mm-hmm,
Maybe I'll include when we discuss page, since you know page object model, then page factory is very easy.
mm-hmm.
So what I do, we'll discuss
So
DB tomorrow.
in the interviews, they will ask us what is a page object model and what do you do there?
No, they
What
will
is the
ask you
difference?
one simple question. What are the frameworks did you use in your project, in your
Okay,
application?
okay, okay,
It's a very simple question.
okay.
So
So
tell
that
me
is
now.
page object model is one of the frameworks.
Yes, exactly. Page object model is one of a framework.
Okay.
So easy to maintain with these five you have to mention, right?
No, you don't need to mention these points. So he knows it.
Okay.
So why
Okay.
exactly we are going with the POM? He knows it. So he definitely will
Okay.
ask you, do you know what is POM and page factory?
What is POT? Page object pattern? That's also
No,
same,
so
right?
we say page object model. So it's not a pattern, it's a model. POM.
Okay.
Okay. Mm, so generally whatever we do is the end one we call it as a hybrid framework because you are using so many frameworks, right? So we are using uh, a TestNG framework, and we are using Ant,
Mhm.
Jenkins, page object model. Also we are using data provider. Okay, when you use all these frameworks in one application, we call it as a hybrid framework. So the combination of different frameworks, we call it as a hybrid framework. So most of the people will use hybrid framework. Fine.
Basically, exactly what's the definition of framework? What test engine we are executing cases, the combination of group, but here the framework definition is separate.
Okay, see, very simple. The framework means we say set of rules, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, now assume that
Can
uh,
you explain the from the day we started the
mhm,
simple then we advanced into the different frameworks, right?
correct.
So first we learned the simple way, then we learned the test ng.
Okay, first, okay, let me explain the from the day one whatever we discussed. Okay, so
And
first,
which category or which framework it will fall into.
Yeah, okay. First thing is what we learned is so the very basic what is Selenium and how to install. Okay, Selenium installation process. It nothing to do with the framework, or we can say it is for the need for your application.
Mhm.
Okay, so installation is required, right? This is
Yeah.
we can say it is a prerequisite for your
Project.
framework design.
Okay.
Okay, so like installation, environment, so everything we say those are prerequisites for your framework design. So before that, before going to discuss one thing, so assume that I want to pursue masters in uh, some country. So assume that it is US or UK. So that is my framework. My framework design, the result of my framework design is to get admission into masters into some university in either US or UK. Then what are the rules? What are the rules? There is a basic criteria, right?
Mhm.
So we should pass some basic criteria. Okay, what is that criteria? So at least you should be, the basic one is you should have a bachelor's degree with some percentage. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so bachelor's degree. Then what is the other one? Other basic criteria. So you should have
You
GRE.
should have. Yeah.
Okay, IELTS or TOEFL,
Tough.
or some people comes with ZMAT, so they may have a ZMAT. But again, there is some score for GRE and they'll give some passing score for all these things, right? Okay, if you fail in any of these things, will you enter into your masters?
No.
No, right?
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you miss at least one thing, you will not be admitted into any of the course. So now you need bachelor's, GRE, all these marks. Then what are the things? For everything you should have a certificates. So assume that we say we have everything. So then the people will ask us, okay, send me the certificates for everything. Then what they do? They validate all your certificates. So once the certificates and your CV and some reference letters or some motivation letter why you want to pursue in so and so location and so and so university, why masters, why can't be others, so you have to mention everything, all these things. So once you send all these things, then only they will give a acceptance letter initially. Then once you get acceptance letter, then what they ask, the financial letters. Maybe they may ask here itself, okay, send me your bank statement. Okay, then they say, okay, credit some amount into like your tuition fees. Tuition fees into university account. Once you do this one, they give unconditional. Am I right?
Mhm.
Okay, once certificates verified, everything is done, they say, okay, we give a conditional offer letter now. Once you credit this amount into university account, then only we give a unconditional one. Okay, then sorry, these are living expenses, guys. Then you have to show the letters or the proofs for your tuition fees. Okay, so then only they'll give unconditional letter. Then you will go to embassy, have interview, then finally they'll put sticker on your passport. So this is what your entire work. So we generally call it as a for your application and the test, we should have a framework design, or some people will say system under test. So mostly we use application under test. To test this one, we should have one framework. What is that framework? So my goal is this one. So to get this goal, and I need all these rules. Same way here, to test our application under test, we should have some framework. So generally people will say two things, hybrid and keyword driven. Okay, like your bachelor's or master's. Okay, so if I want to go for a hybrid, what are the things I should use? If I want to go for the keyword driven, so what are the things I should use? So those are things we call it as a the supporting for your framework design. So first one is currently we learned only the test engine. So we learned initially test engine, and then we learned the data provider with the test engine. Okay, third one what we learned, page object model. So we learned only these three as of now,
Mhm.
and going forward we learn page object factory, next Ant, Jenkins, mm, so here itself I have to mention DB and Excel. 6, 7, 8. Then so either Cucumber or
Whether the
robot framework.
whether the XML is also comes under this.
Yeah, I've given, right?
Data provide.
Okay. Then this one, robot framework. And finally, you have to integrate all your test cases with some tool. So that testing or the Zira. So now tell me how much we learned in these 15 days. How much we learned?
3,
So as of now,
4.
we learned only 40%, I can say. You have to learn 60%.
Mm.
But tomorrow we go with more than 50%. So if we complete PYF and Excel, sorry DB, then we can say we are moved to more than 50%. Okay, don't worry. So every day is one topic for us going forward. So be ready. So practice. So see, the thing is why we are taking so many examples, the like frameworks or iframes or explicit conditions or the actions or the windows. Those are very, very important. But
Mhm.
not only those things, you should learn all these things. If you perfect in this one. If you are perfect in this 5, so you can work on anything, whatever complex website they give, you can work on them. Okay. So why? Because my motive for you guys, since you know ETL, so as I was saying, keep on saying, since you know ETL testing, you should know how that will be integrated with the Selenium.
Mhm.
Why? Because the future is only for automation. Already companies started. JP Morgan and Bank of America, Deloitte, uh, Deloitte and some other companies, they have started already automation,
So ETL automation or database automation?
ETL automation.
Okay.
No, database also they have not done so far,
Okay.
but only in terms of website related people have done database testing, not in terms of whatever we are doing through ETL.
Okay. Because in ETL we have to write everything in SQL, right? I
Correct.
mean,
So what I do is I'll keep in some Excel sheet. From there I'll copy my query and execute it.
okay. Okay.
Or I'll keep all the queries in one location, because under one class I'll keep all my queries and see whether it is
Mm.
successful or failed. Okay,
So we
let us
have to
complete these two. Let us complete these two. Then we'll see how best we can do with the database or the ETL, because we have the queries also.
Yeah, so but in that case, we don't have to import the driver and all those things because those are mostly into the front end testing, right?
Uh, can you repeat one more time?
So here, like when we are doing the front end testing with different drivers like Chrome and Internet Explorer and Firefox,
Mm-hmm.
but in case of ETL testing, we don't have to import those drivers, right? Because we are connecting the database and doing the testing we are
Correct,
just
correct.
calling the
Yeah,
database.
yeah. You no need to call the web drivers.
Right, right. Okay.
See, I'll show you some small example, but it is not working as of now. See, did I use anywhere?
Okay, we are just providing the database connections.
Yeah, we are just
Mm,
providing how to connect to the database,
database. Okay,
because
got it.
each and every database have different methods. Okay, so this is the difficult one I tried. Why? Because to connect using Oracle, they are given a lot of information. Okay, so this
Mm-hmm.
one finally I found in one location. So mostly people will go with the SQL Server
Mm-hmm.
or the MySQL.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have related to Oracle or other databases, then it is always good, because mostly we use SQL Server or Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see here I just given the simple, very simple. So see, remember these four are very important for any database connection.
Mm-hmm.
Only difficult part is when giving this string. This is what most difficult part. So let's see how we'll perform the DB testing and how we can use like this, like using POM or page factory.
Okay.
Because I no need, see here, if anyone says I am mentioning all my queries over here. So if someone says why you are mentioning everything here, people may ask me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people will ask one more thing. So why are you giving your user ID and password? If it is a common thing, it is fine. If it is your personalized user ID and password, we should not share, right?
Right.
So that is also another thing. Okay, so bear with me another 2 days, then we'll complete everything. Then I'll show you one example, maybe the expression or the router. Then it's the same thing for any ETL test case. So our target tomorrow is POF and DB. DB means the basic DB.
Mm-hmm. How
Uh,
to connect.
yeah, how to connect.
Yeah.
And then another day we see how to read the data from the Excel.
Okay.
Okay, so you also guys improve your scripts. So whatever you have written so far, so whatever topic you are learning, so improve with it,
Mm-hmm.
so that you know what exactly happening in from previous script to current script.
Mm-hmm. So you haven't uploaded yesterday's video, right?
No, yeah. Some there was another class actually, so that's the reason I have not done it.
I was just asking because I didn't
Maybe
get
by
any mail, so I
tomorrow,
was just.
means during your night time, I'll upload everything so that morning you can have a look at it, guys.
Yeah.
At least I'll try to upload yesterday's video by afternoon your time. Okay. Okay. Thanks, guys. And you want yesterday's video or today's video? Better I'll upload yesterday's video and then I'll upload today's video by tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you no need this thing, right? Are you guys clear with this framework? What exactly the framework design?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's available in video also, right? So you
Yes.
can say.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Suresh. Yeah,
Okay, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
day.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Good
Thank
night.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.